Thanks for tuning in to Let's Discuss It. Today we will be discussing Manipulator. Now, we've been talking about toxic behavior and traits. This is just another toxic behavior that you should avoid. No, it is detrimental to you, or it can be detrimental to you. But before we dig into it, we must define what a manipulator is. According to dictionary.com, a manipulator is a person who manipulates. I mean, quite obvious, right? So I'm going to share one definition of manipulation, what manipulates. According to the same reference, manipulate is defined as to manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner. To influence in a skillful way. So basically, it's an art to manipulate. It's all on how you do it if you are the manipulator. Most manipulators, they try to find ways to play on your emotions. So how do you do that? If a person knows what triggers you, they may take and use that to their advantage. A person may manipulate you economically wise. How? Because if the person finds a way to take control or advantage of the situation, they may do that. For instance, I may only have $5 to my name, but you may have $100. So what you would do in return is find a way to make use of me, because if I only have $5, then of course I'm gonna need a way to get more or to gain more. And if I'm seeking assistance, which we all do, we seek assistance in some type of way. So in return, you may manipulate my situation because you see that I need the help. So what you would do is find a way to control me economically wise, which also plays a role on the emotions. Because hey, let's face it, if you dead broke, some of y'all might feel some type of way. If you're rich, you might feel better. But the only problem is you might still have the same problems that was pulling you down. But hey, you're rich with money. So dealing with a manipulator, it's just basically finding a way to change a situation to make the situation work for themselves. Now, is this healthy? My honest opinion, it can be and it cannot be. The only way that it can be healthy is if the manipulation is done for the benefits for both. Not everyone that is a manipulator is going to do things only for their benefits. Although at the end of the day it's their benefits too, but sometimes a manipulator has their way to make things work out for both. But we're going to talk about the toxic side of manipulation. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations where we feel like we need an answer. But here comes the manipulator. Or you might have the answer already, to be honest. Matter of fact, we're going to speak about you having the answer and you dealing with the manipulator. If you have an answer to your solution and everything is working for you, a manipulator might come around and try to change or rearrange what you have. They might try and rearrange your thoughts. And it's just, they have strategy, or they do strategic moves. And they place these things the way they need it to be placed. We all have been manipulated at one point of our life, whether you were a child or an adult. When you look at manipulation on a larger scale, look at the country we're living in right now. Manipulation goes on daily. You just have to catch it. It's a way to control your thoughts, your actions, and even your diet, etc. It could be anything. So many different levels and forms of manipulation. When you are dealing with a manipulator, you must recognize. Once you recognize, then you have to come up with a solution. You can either reverse the manipulation or stage left. And if you don't know what stage left means, it just means exit. You know, like, even in the Bible, I'm going to just take the little small story. I won't be long with it. Very, very short with it. When the people had to leave in Exodus, and he told Moses' wife not to turn around, and she turned around and she turned into a salt of pillar. But you have to ask, why were they leaving? Or why were they fleeing from this country? Or this territory, or whatever you want to call it, the city? Why would they leave? It's just a larger form of manipulation that was going on with the people. Trying to control their thoughts, their actions, their diet. And one thing about a manipulator, they know how the human brain works, which is why the manipulation works for the manipulator. It is a skill. Sometimes, they find a thrill in it. Some people find amusement out of manipulating you. So, why would you want to be the one who deals with the low end of the stick? The choice is yours. You do not have to deal with the manipulator. It's all I have for you today. Thanks for listening. Like I always say, stay true to you. Fuck a hater. Always love. Peace, man.